You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious.
I just wanted to. The AFL have on the, if you look at the ladder or look at the fixtures, the AFL I think put the Indigenous names next to the grounds now, don't they? So you don't go to Marvel Stadium or the MCG or to they. Is that right?
That's right.
I don't know, Sam. I'm not aware of that.
Yep. Well, I can tell you it's right.
Another virtuous, patronising piece of nonsense. And I still see there, Doug, they're still doing the Welcome to Country dancing and smoke festivals at the start of the games, are they?
They did I think it might have been just the round one.
Okay. Round one.
Did you see?
It's going to happen every round, is it?
I don't think so, Sam. I think it was just mainly...
Couldn't afford it, I don't think.
It was more round one.
Was it what, just to kick the season off?
Just to get the season rolling.
Thank everyone for
coming along there and
coming along.
That's a good compromise.
Welcome to the country that we helped build. All that stuff. Yeah, that's good.
And they'll do it for the final series as well.
Oh, yeah, they'll do it for the
final. How do you know that, Ivan?
Oh, I got a sense they're going to do that.
All right.
Yep.
And we'll have people younger than us welcoming to our country, welcoming
You've been here 70 years.
People out in Box
77
Hill?
years, you.
What about the people out in Box Hill that they're all
they
here?
Have their own welcome to country.
They've helped build culture here, and we don't thank them for anything, anyone that came here.
The Italians?
Yeah, Italians, the Greeks,
yeah.
Yep. Chinese, French, Chinese. Get a nice Chinese feed down there. Eat some snails because the French came here.
Hey you.
Yeah.
Who
hey
me?
you.
Hey, how do you know my name? Who me? No, that's my cousin.
Yeah.
I'm only joking about that.
Yeah,
That's a bit of fun, a bit of humour. Are we on air, Sam?
We are.
Are there any Chinese Jews? He said, I don't know, just a minute, I'll go out the back. He said, no, we've only got orange juice, grapefruit juice, or apple juice.
We can't be doing this, surely.
We're not on, I'm sure. So Warren Digi is Melbourne. What do you reckon Adelaide is? Do you know what Adelaide would be in Aboriginal language? Karuna.
No,
Perth. Come on. Any ideas for Perth?
No idea.
No, you won't get this.
What's the point of it?
Wadjak.
Oh, why? What are we doing?
Roger?
Wadjak.
Roger. Yeah. Adelaide. Terry Limbaugh said us hello, Terry.
Yeah, Terry.
You know the reason why you should know it too is because when you go to catch the plane at Qantas or Virgin, it'll say that you are travelling to Wadjak country or you are coming back.
Virtuous, slobbering suck-ups. That's all we've become. We're just trying to... the people who have taken over King's Domain have no intention of reconciliation, no intention of people all being one group of people living in this great country. They have a cottage industry of dividing people. That's how they sustain themselves, and most of the money that I think they get goes on building placards and flags and items that actually show that we are a divided country, and why someone doesn't put an end to it is beyond me, and why people put up with it is beyond us. We're trying to be one homogenised group of people all getting on, and we do more to create unity than all those other people who divide us. This I say. Now,
on your topics, do you have one down there that says about the 19th team to the AFL?
Well, we mention...
We touched on the Tassie...
We asked
Michael Christian.
We did nothing of the sort. We're going to ask Michael Christian what he thought.
I wonder what he thinks,
because he's going to have to adjudicate over a new side, not coming in till 2028. You said, Ivan.
Correct. Yep.
What did you think of the?
It's not. They're coming in. When is it?
I thought 2028. They don't even have a stadium yet.
God.
What about the jumper?
They've got 100,000 members, Sam.
They do.
The jumper.
Yeah.
Well, you like the jumper. I think. It's good. Yeah.
I don't like the jumper.
The colours.
What do you mean you don't like it?
The Tasmanian map on it.
Got the map on it.
No. Well, how about
what's wrong with the map of Tassie? Anyway,
Doug. So Doug. Collingwood have stripes, Geelong have hoops, Bulldogs have a colour with the bulldog on it.
Yeah.
Melbourne has What do you want the picture of the state on the front of your jumper for? What are you trying to convince us that you're from Tasmania? How about an original design of a jumper with the different colours and no one else has the picture of their state or the on it, do they?
No, they don't.
No.
Tell me the best
The
three
big
players.
V we
Sam.
had, Victor, what?
Who are the three greatest players that come from Tasmania? I asked that question.
Yes.
Now, they talked about Alistair Lynch, Matthew Richardson. There was one or two others.
Well, Darryl Baldock,
There's one,
Peter Hudson,
two, Royce Hart, Ian Stewart.
yes,
There's four.
yes.
They would be mentioned. They weren't mentioned.
Who
But they
did this
mentioned three or
survey?
four past great. Well,
Who said
more
this?
current greats.
Who said this?
Well, there was the launch of it.
Launch of what?
Not on the launch, but there was a media thing that I saw.
They
Yeah,
said-
it was the jumper
You see that?
reveal. It was, and
they
it was
didn't
to
mention
announce.
them gentlemen.
It was.
I heard that they said that some great players come from Tasmania, and they are Matthew Richardson, who's a great player.
Alistair Lynch.
Alistair Lynch, who's a great player.
And there was one or two other ones.
And they never mentioned those other people.
Well, I'm not in this media thing. I'm not saying at the launch.
Just
but
the press.
this
Who couldn't
media said
remember
it,
anyone who was.
yeah, but what about them blokes?
Well, them blokes.
Hudson arguably the greatest full forward ever.
Who?
Peter Hudson, arguably the greatest full centre-half forward. Him and Wayne
No, but
Carey, Royce Hart.
if you don't mention those people,
Three
that
Brownlows.
is the ignorance and
Stewart.
the naivety of the media. That shows the low stocks that the media are held in if they don't mention those people. If they didn't mention them for a reason, that's fair enough. But if they said, in recent times, these have been some great players, but if you're going to say the best players and not mention those six players ahead of them, Brent Croswell, there's some
He was mentioned.
Barry Lawrence.
Barry Lawrence.
I'm going pretty well off the top of my head here, but there's 6 or 7 that you'd mentioned before those other boys, and those other boys were great as well.
I think Rewalt is the face of it at the
Jack
moment.
has been, yeah. Jack has.
Yes.
And,
Great player.
They're saying
Ireland.
Benny Gale may be the CEO, president of the Tassie Footy Club down there.
Robbie
Potentially.
Gronewagen's involved. My good mate Robbie Gronewagen, Captain Gronewagen's involved down there.
Have you ever
He's
been?
running Lonnie down there, Launceston wagon.
Have you ever been? You could tell us the story about him commandeering the in-flight microphone on the plane over to one of your football trips, Doug.
No, he did. No, he got up on the microphone in between
That's what I
3G.
said.
Oh, you asked me to say it, did you?
Didn't ask you to say anything. I said
he got
you
up,
could tell us about one of
Had he
the...
had a few?
I mean, no, we'd had a skinful.
Go on, tell us just
I was in
quickly.
between Fiji and Hawaii, and there was a bit of air turbulence, and
Short was air turbulence.
Yeah, there was a bit of air turbulence. We've had a
Turbulence.
Is the word turbulence?
Turban.
You know, the plane started to shake very
turban when there ain't no
viciously.
turban. So turbulence, yeah.
It started to shake very viciously. That went side from side. The plane
You're
did.
about to... I said, tell us about the time he commandeered the
I'm about to get
in-flight
into it,
attendant
Sam.
microphone. You said, no, I'll tell you about another story, and you're about to say exactly the same story. What did he do?
Anyway, he grabbed the microphone.
And you remember this. This
I
is
remember
still
this
good.
clearly. And he
is
said,
good.
"This is your captain speaking, Captain Robert Gronewagen here." He said, "As you've experienced the last 10 minutes, some very severe shaking off the plane."
Turbulence.
Yeah, turbulence. He said, "Enjoy your meal. It's going to be your last. We're about to go down the ocean." I looked at Mick Moldhouse. Mick went, "Oh, no."
Geez, you'd be in some trouble if you did that
He
today.
was shot now by an air marshal.
That's right.
Air marshal would shoot him and he'd get 25 years of being a terrorist.
Quite right.
Thank you very much.
Now, I just mentioned before,
Right,
have you ever been up in a hot air balloon? Have you ever been in an...
I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I
be
never
honest.
will.
Don't
I never
lie.
will, and I haven't, Sam, and I never will. I am shit scared of heights, and I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. And
Well,
I'll be honest.
I won't ask you up to my apartment that I live in because it's
How
on
high
the
up is it?
21st floor. I don't want
just
you to
can't
get
do it.
vertigo or
I
someone
would. I
else.
look over. I can't do it, Sam. I'm shocking. I'm scared of not.
What about
I'm
planes?
scared of heights.
Planes.
Like shit. Yeah. I'm just. If it's, I hang on. I'm with my wife and kids, and I'm hanging on like this. My wife's going,
Another
"Let
beer,
go."
another beer.
Yeah, Raylene's going, let go. No, I hate. I'm not a big flyer. I'll have a couple of beers if I'm flying, and that's what I do to relax.
Speaking of vertigo, do you know Doc Larkins? He launched
Doc,
a book
Triple
last
M,
night.
Doc Larkins.
Can we find that?
He's a good man, Doc Larkins. We worked, Sam, with him. I did with Doc on Triple M.
I couldn't go to the launch of his book last night.
We got a book out.
Monday night, wasn't it?
Monday night.
What's it called?
I'm about to find out what it is. It's a diet book about health and everything, and Eddie did the forward to it, and there was some very influential people there. I couldn't go there. The only reason I'm mentioning it, and I'll give the book's name in a minute, is that I was doing... I was on the special comments for Triple M, and we crossed down to the doc on the boundary. He was the boundary reporter doing all the injuries, and he said, yes, there's a player down here, he's a bit dizzy, he's got vertigo. And I said, what is vertigo, Doc? I said, is that a medical complaint? He said, yeah, he's dizzy. I said, you mean vertigo? He said, yeah, vertigo. Could you call vertigo vertigo?
No, you can't.
I beg
No
your
one
pardon?
would know what
Why
you
would
mean.
he call it? Why would he call it?
Well, vertigo is the name. I don't know how you get vertigo. Anyhow, the doc's got a book out.
What's
Thank
it
you,
called,
sir.
Sam?
Well, I'm going to tell you what
Vertigo.
it's called. It's called Dr. Peter Larkins, The Healthy 100.
The what?
The Healthy 100.
100 ways to be healthy.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And he says, from sleep to exercise, gut health to immunity, caffeine to sunscreen, red wine to family time. In Healthy 100, the Healthy 100, you'll learn how to survive and be healthy on a daily basis. This is the doc's book, and I couldn't go to it, but we're mentioning it. We might get him in here to speak about it one day, Doug.
Is there anything about not going on balloon rides? That'd be
very good.
What happened there? What did happen?
So the bloke fell out of the balloon. Now,
Can't fall out, sure.
Have you ever been on a balloon?
No, I haven't.
Right?
No,
I
you asked me that, and I said no.
Yeah.
No, I
Pretty
haven't.
boring.
Have you been on one,
Yeah,
Sam?
I've been on several.
Ivan?
Yeah, I've been on one.
Sue,
Yep.
you've been on one?
Did we
haven't,
went on
no.
one together, didn't we?
No, I
used
couldn't
to,
make
bloke,
it.
used to.
No, I couldn't make it. No, I did mine.
What
a
was
month
good
ago.
about it? What
These
was
two
good
are bum
about
chums.
it?
It's not good, Doug. It's what they do.
boring as all.
What is that? They light a big gas turbine.
And
They
you-
blow
and
up
you
the
float.
balloon. They blow up the balloon, and then you get in it, and they untether it, and it just goes straight up into the air like an elevator, and you float over. Just float over. You hear dogs barking and people rooting, and you can see things from the treetops.
things
You
you
can
shouldn't be
just see
seeing.
everything, and then when they've got to land downwind, because it'll only go where the wind takes them. And when it lands, you've got to hang on because the thing crashes to the ground, and you slide on your ass until it comes to a stop, and then you get out, and you get up at 4 a.m, you drive out to a park where the wind is blowing downwind, and then they come and pick you up, and it's all over by 8:30.
What's the
You're
height,
absolutely
Sam?
fucked at the
What's
end of the morning. You need to go home for a rest.
What's the height, Sam,
Well,
of it if you're standing there and
yeah,
you're
I'd say
looking,
about-
you're 6 foot 3 or 4?
No, it goes a bit higher than 6 foot.
No, but what would you be looking
Oh,
at?
no, you
if
mean the height?
You mean the height of the
No.
barrier
Yeah,
around you?
Absolutely.
Can you flip over it, or
No,
can you?
no way.
You'd have to-
There's no
to
way.
jump.
You'd have to be pushed or jump.
Okay.
Oh, God, strike.
It's fairly. It's an
No,
honest question. I've never been on one.
Well-
I don't know what the height is of the barrier
well, it'd
around
be
it.
at least up to your
chest.
Yeah, up to you. You couldn't
Is it?
fall out.
You couldn't fall, okay.
Unless you wanted to fall out.
Okay.
That's what I think. Anyhow, so that's my great experience with balloon rides. Here's the thing I never knew, Doug. I was watching the television. I don't know. Have you ever given sperm?
Sorry,
Have you ever
what?
been a sperm
Random-
donor?
have I?
Yeah, you.
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, they give you a Playboy and you go into a room and you pull the top off it and blow it into a
Receptacle.
receptacle. And you put the lid on it. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you give it back and then they
Oscar
store
Suave
it up
told me
there.
that joke one day. Go on. Remember that, Sam?
yeah, what?
Oscar Suave.
What did he
Remember
say?
Oscar?
Yeah, what did he say?
Put the jar.
He said.
Remember what?
He said, He said, yeah. He said, how'd you go? He said, no matter how I tried. He said, what happened? He said, I couldn't get the top off the jar. He said, and they didn't bring the jar big enough. I couldn't get my dick in the jar. He said it was only a small jar. Anyhow, all those lines. Yeah.
He's gone to Queensland, Oscar, Sam. God bless him.
So
Sam used to count the people walking out of the room. There goes another one, there's another one.
you get paid to get to be a debate.
He couldn't do his act now.
So you get paid to do it. And then so you whack yourself off, and there's 500 in the hand.
This is obviously.
No, so Doug, the reason I brought this up is
I can't come into this.
did you realise?
I can't come into this seriously.
And then they'll
cannot do
have
it.
the Doug Hawkins sperm, and they'll put it up in a rack.
Why would you
and
do
people
that?
come in, and if the people want to have your sperm, they'll say, "Yeah, I'll have the Doug Hawkins sperm there." And the point of me saying this is,
could you mix it maybe and say I want someone a bit taller, maybe
Yeah,
taller
I'll tell you
than
what,
Dougie?
Ivan. I'll tell you what, Sam, Sue. I saw 25 jars of Peter Dacos sitting up there. After those two boys, Josh and Nick, getting 8 play.
Now, hang on.
Won't he
Doug.
be a breeding
Now,
ground for
hang on.
more?
So you're on to something here, Doug.
Okay.
This is the point of me saying this. I know you're going to say this is not right, but this is, and I'll show you it. There is a minimum height that you cannot give donate sperm if you're under a certain height. You have to be 5'8" or 5'9" in some states, or 5'8". If you're under 5'8" inches tall, that's inches in height, not inches in the length of your dick. You cannot donate sperm, Doug. So I don't know how Peter Dacos is. Is he over 5'8" or 9?
Peter he's a Collingwood 6-footer, probably 6'1".
Shit, Peter Dacos.
He's 6 foot. He's
Is
my
he?
size. Yeah,
He's not
if you look it up, Ivan, Sue, Sam, but he's breeding grounds.
Well, can you
Josh
believe
and
that you
Nick.
have to be a certain height to donate sperm?
That can't be right. Surely, who wrote that?
A dwarf.
And if you are 6 foot, people are paying more if you want someone who's 6 foot. Like
So
if I
dates
have
is
to-
more for dates.
No, but if you want someone who's tall, we want to give birth to
6 foot.
someone who's
6
tall.
foot. Yeah, he's my
If
size.
you want someone who's tall, Doug, you get sperm for someone who is.
Wants a bigger baby.
So most people don't want to give birth to
Midgets.
short people,
Yeah.
midgets or dwarfs. No, a midget is a perfectly formed small person. A dwarf is a deformed sort of person. Not deformed. Yeah, well, deformed.
But
I'm not
but
being
a midget
unkind
is-
to the
is
dwarfs.
height. There's a specific
There's a
height.
genetic.
We better
There's a
wrap this up.
genetic. There's a genetic inadequacy in a dwarf,
can we
but
push?
a midget is a.
I think we'll push forward, can we, or not? What do we do? What do we do here? Can we go somewhere else?
Here we go.
But did you know
on.
that
Oh, here
you
we go.
actually, in Australia, you can't get paid. It is illegal to take payment for any human tissue, including sperm.
So dates can't be paid, Peter.
No, but you can be reimbursed for your expenses through the
Of travel and-
process
and
in
that.
donating. Like for books and magazines.
Put an extra wing on the house or something.
It's been an entertaining day. It's been terrific.
What's that?
It's been very good.
Oh, I've got some more. I just want your opinion on it.
What's that, Raylene? I'm coming. I'm coming.
No, this
It'd
is
be a first.
This is what we, Doug. This is what we.
All right.
These are things that people are intrigued about. We
They want to hear it, do they?
Well, I don't. Well, they say they do from our feedback. Mind you, we get a lot of feedback saying we're fucking idiots. Now, the Paris Olympics are coming up later this year.
This year, is it?
This year.
Yes.
Yeah, no, 2024 they're on.
That's this year, Doug, as I understand it. What year are we in?
Yeah, we're 24 still.
Okay,
Thank God.
that's what I thought. That's why I
we're there.
said they're on later this year.
I knew he'd come in. I knew he'd come in.
Do you know what the new sport or the new activity in the Olympics is?
Darts.
No, I don't think so. Breakdancing.
Oh, please.
Breakdancing.
Jeez, they're about 30 years too late, aren't they? That should have been in the 1980s.
That can't be.
Breakdancing. Do you know breakdance? It's just dancing.
What
I
is
don't
it?
know what it is, but it's breakdancing. It's the first time and the last time it's going to be in. But every
Is
host.
that rock and roll dancing, Craig?
Mate,
No.
well, I think he's
rap.
sure.
The
It's
rap
like
dance
rap.
when they do they spin around on
Yeah.
their head
On
and
their heads and
in the back and
twisting that.
Well, that's coming into the Olympics, Doug. Far cry from the javelin or the discus or the high
What world are we in?
I
We're in
know.
a weird world,
And they
seriously.
said
We're in a dead
every
set.
country has a chance to bring in a sport. Did we bring in windsurfing or someone else brought that in?
But we brought in
2000.
water skiing in 1988. That's
And
why
you
we
know, and Sue went over and represented
Australia
Australia.
in the 88 Olympics, Seoul Olympics, where water skiing was a demonstration
Well,
sport.
you did too.
Yeah.
You were aerobics champion, world champion.
Well,
Water
you don't
skiing?
know anything about me,
You're
Doug.
very flexible, Sam. I
Flexible.
didn't know that.
How do you know she's flexible?
I'm just saying, Sue was a world
no,
aerobics
yeah,
champion.
she's got a lot
That's
of-
how she got the OAM,
Yeah.
Order of Australian
Medal.
Merit.
But did I teach you? Did I teach you?
Merit, is it?
Medal.
A medal, sorry.
Back in the
That
day,
was
and this is
merit.
going to test your memory here. Back in the day,
World champion gone. What year was
did
that?
I, 92, 93, 94,
Go on, yeah.
did you used to come to my gym and I used to teach you, the players' review?
Correct.
You used to come
100%.
down and I used to choreograph all the dances
Yes,
for
we
you
did.
guys.
Were you in Rosman Road? No.
That's right, yeah.
You
Ballarat
were?
Road and Rosamond Road on the corner there.
Correct. So, yeah.
Maidstone
So
Sport.
we go back now. We go back to mid-80s.
Do they still do player reviews?
No, they don't do them anymore. They're not allowed to do it.
That was fun. They were hilarious.
They're not allowed to do it.
Okay.
Funny.
What in the footy shows?
They can't, like that, the footy show where the players do the players
Yeah.
review. They're not allowed
They
to do it.
don't have the footy show
They
anymore.
can't.
No, but
The footy
clubs
show?
used to do them every
Oh, I
year.
see.
Every
Okay.
year they used to do it.
Why? And blokes who dress up as women
Yeah.
now they've hit that on the head because that's sending up people who are women or transgendering to be women.
Well, see, my favourite show of all time is MASH, and they want to get rid of MASH because there's
Why is that?
There's Corporal Klinger who was always looking for a Section 8, was a transgendered person or like dressing up in women's clothes so he could get out of the army. And they're saying, hang on, you're trying to tell us that
You're
person is
taking the
mentally
piss out of
unstable.
taking the piss out of trans.
So they
people.
wanna-
Klinger, was he?
Yeah.
Klinger.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
The world's gone mad.
It's gone mad.
no,
It's a good show.
Hogan's. What was that?
Well, they changed
Mash.
the names of
well,
lollies. the
Yeah,
other
remember?
day.
Maybe you didn't watch
Oh
it.
no, I
Corporal
was
Klinger.
thinking of Schultz. Who was that? That was Hogan's Heroes, wasn't it? Who was Schultz? Schultz will be shot. Who was that?
That was Hogan's hero.
The bloke with the monocle who was the boss.
Oh, Colonel Klink.
Yes, was that him?
Yeah, that's him. Hogan.
Hogan.
I used to watch Gomer Pyle.
Oh, that was good.
yeah.
Oh golly! Oh golly!
Was he all right? Was he? Was
No,
Gomer,
he was-
wasn't well. Or
Well, he wasn't well. He was. I think.
he was a good mate of Rocks.
I think so. I think Rock Hudson and he were
Friends.
bosom buddies, and I think bosom is the wrong area of the anatomy.
He had a good voice.
and,
He had a good voice, Gomer. He could sing. Jim Neighbours, very good singer.
Jim.
Well, that's his name, isn't it?
Jim. His neighbours was yeah.
He's a good singer.
Now, also, could I mention this, Doug and Ivan and Sue? You know the Grand Prix, which is on this weekend.
Absolutely.
It's become a farce. It's become a farce.
Why is it?
But I'll tell you why it's become a farce, because the people who run it have no intention of trying to make it competitive, either by refueling the cars or allowing them to use the drag reduction system at any stage. I know that doesn't mean much to you, but they open the back wing so the car will go quicker. But you have to be within a second of the car in front of you, and you can't use it in the first two laps. They should allow you to use it any time except if you're the leading car. That's A. B, they should refuel the cars, because the pit stops, they change 4 tyres in 2.5 seconds, Doug, 2.5 seconds. It's just become a joke. The only redeeming feature of the Grand Prix at the minute is if there's a huge crash, hopefully no one gets injured. We're not asking people to be maimed or injured at all, but the only highlight would be if there's a big crash and the person leading gets put out. That's Verstappen, and hopefully Oscar Piastri doesn't get involved and he wins. But we need a big crash, no one injured. We need to have a competitive race, and the only reason you'd go to the Grand Prix these days would be to have the Raptor jet, the big F-111 jet come over and frighten the living suitcase out of you. And do you know why that doesn't come over anymore?
No.
Because people think it denotes warmongering, and they say it's not a good look because we're not into wars, and that jet is built specifically to fight off the enemy, and we're not allowing it to fly over.
Sam, have you ever drove in the Celebrity Grand Prix
Ever driven?
event? Driven? Have you ever been in it?
Yes.
Can you tell me where it was and what year it was? And it may have been the last one in Adelaide.
Yes.
How did you go there, Sam?
I crashed.
Well, come around the corner, he's in the front.
Oh, were you in it?
I'm in it. Oh,
Yes.
I was in it. I was in
No.
it, too.
Yeah.
I was in
The last one, 95 it was, 95.
And the reason you know I crashed
Because
is
you had a bit of they placed you behind the front where you should have been.
Yes.
But you gave the boys who were instructing us, you gave them a little bit of a hard time. So they put you in the third grid.
Yes.
You should have been in the front up there
I
with
should
Wally
have been.
Lewis and Benny
I
Elias.
should have been because,
And
yes.
Yuffa Yindi and the late Yuffa Yindi.
That's
he
correct.
a
We
good
were
driver?
driving
Russell Gilbert.
driving ex-police cars, and because we drove them hard, as opposed to you who tootled round the back, the brakes went on them. Yeah, well. Yeah.
First corner I come around, Sam, smash right into it.
Yeah, no, that's right.
What
He's
happened there?
walking
Just
back,
the brakes?
He's walking back with his helmet. I thought, I thought it was
right.
very funny. I did.
Yeah, that is absolutely. That was the last
true.
Grand Prix in Adelaide.
Yeah, 95 it was.
Was it?
Yeah,
I must have been-
95.
Yeah, 95. I must have been the one in 94.
You're 94, Sue.
So
you
we were
did
all
in the
women.
95.
We were all women
I
drivers.
remember that.
We
Yeah.
were all women drivers.
Why is that?
Because I think, wasn't it one of the guys, is it Mark Knopfler or something, who broke a leg because the guys were just trying to slam everyone into
Dire Straits, the lead
Yeah.
singer. Yeah.
What kind
They
of
were-
car? Minis or something?
No, I was in
it?
Holden Calibras.
We were in race.
Yeah.
Is that Sue?
Red,
remember that,
he's a
Sam?
revhead.
So Sam, I never get that first corner. You hit
That's
it
it.
hard. You
Yeah,
hit it
hit it
hard.
hard. That-
Straight into the barrier. Bang.
Straight
A
in.
write-off, you reckon?
Oh, it was smashed to bits. He got out and walking back like this. He was filthy.
This is not my car.
It should have been in the front, but they burnt you a bit. They
did.
The instructors
Yes,
Would have been great.
They
because-
have a hard time. Just taking
Yeah,
the piss
because
out
we're
of them
down
and all
on
that.
Adelaide. Yeah. Cause,
What about you,
caught
Doug? Do you have a
them.
bit of a go?
I come second last. Yuffa Yindi beat me, and me and Russell Gilbert come down the back together.
Did Russell stay on the track
He
at
stayed
all?
on the track and he just looked arm out the window.
Did you
Yuffa
have
did.
manuals? Were you driving manuals at the
automatics.
time? Oh, you had.
better.
See, we had manuals.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
We had, I think it was Marsha Hines, who's never driven a car, never had a licence. And then we had another lady who also has never driven as well and didn't have their licence. So they had to get because they got their CAMS licence before they got the
And
real
drive
licence.
a manual.
And drive a manual.
Wow.
So one lady just left it in third the whole way round, and she'd be going hip, 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 hip around the corner, and then I'd be going down the street. It was a classic.
We had Lisa Curry driving our one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lisa Curry and any other girls, Sam, you remember? Lisa Curry
I
drove.
drove a Lamborghini in the Nations Cup before one of the Grand Prix here some years ago. Came third to the great Peter Brock in a Monaro, and second he won, and Darcy Russell in a Dodge Viper, and then I came third.
How quick were you going, Sam? If you're up against the big boys.
Pardon?
This is fair income. Did you
Yeah,
have-
no, it's
have
fair
had a
income.
crack?
Yeah, well,
What speed would you?
Well,
got some
you
stages?
only get the length of the straight to get the car up to, but it doesn't get to it. So the Lamborghini will do 350k, but but you don't get it. Doesn't
Don't
get
get to
a
that.
chance to wind up that. It gets up to about, I don't even know, because it didn't have a speedometer on it. It has a rev counter.
Bet you didn't crash that.
No, I didn't crash that. No, I didn't crash that.
Where were we, John?
Where we were was that they don't allow the Raptor, the jet, to fly over now, which was absolutely exhilarating because people say, "Oh, it's an indication that we're a war country." This is the activists. This is like you don't have grid girls. You penalise women who look good aesthetically from earning a living by holding a flag in front of the cars or the motorbikes because some people have said, oh no, it's sexist to let women dress up in what they want to dress up in and hold a flag. That's how women who look good aesthetically make a living. You know, they model, as opposed to some people who don't look good become other people in life, the professional people, doctors and lawyers. And not that all doctors and lawyers don't look good, but this is just discrimination on people who look good from earning a living.
So we used to have grid guys for all of one race in, I think it was in Monaco. Now we've got grid kids. So they've stuck with them.
And now, Doug, now this is the other thing that we mentioned here the other week. Remember Virgin, the ships that this is Sir Richard Branson's Virgin
a love boat,
company.
isn't it? A bit like a love boat,
Well, the
is it?
huge Virgin ships that come in, and they're not coming in at the end of this next year. They're not coming in at the end of this year because they said, oh no, it wasn't safe for the passenger ships to go through the Red Sea while Hamas and Palestine and Israel were fighting, and it wasn't safe for the passengers, and safety of our passengers is paramount. And I'm told that is absolute nonsense. The reason the ships aren't coming is because people won't pay the exorbitant amount to have the cabins, because there's a price war going on between P&O, which means Peninsula and Orient, P&O, and all the cruise lines, the Danish lines and the Virgin, and they've been price cut out of the business. And Virgin, it's not profitable for them to have people come out to Australia. The big money is over in Europe and the Northern Hemisphere, where those ships cruise. So that's what I'm told why Virgin aren't coming here.
Why would, they obviously pay a berthing payment to, say, Station Pier. Berthing fee. Why would you even want to collect a fee? You'd say, yep, you can come in, you can say, I don't know, $10,000, and then all those passengers come in and they walk down to Port Melbourne or go into the casino.
Add to the GDP of the state or the city, Doug?
Build another pier.
That'd be good, Sam, and touching on that, that'd be very good.
You've been on a cruise ship?
No, I haven't. I'm going on one in about 5 years. I'm going on
in 5 years.
In 5 years.
Going one in
when
10.
my mate builds the Titanic.
Oh yes.
I am actually going on that. I've been invited. He asked me to come along. He invited me and Barry Michael.
Good
and because we stood for him back in 2013.
Tell people what this is about, because this made the overseas news.
This is the
on,
great Clive Palmer,
big fella, yep.
and the multi-billionaire.
Going to build a replica,
of the Titanic, and it will take 5 years to build it, and I will be on board the first journey of it. I hope it doesn't sink.
The maiden voyage.
Will you stand up the front?
I'll stand up the front with Hundal Sweetheart up the top. With the wind blowing in her hair.
Yeah. And
as Robert DiCaprio. What's his name? What's his name?
Not Robert. Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Robert.
That's very close.
Frank DiCaprio. Sir Walter Raleigh.
Robert De Niro and
Robert De Niro. Let's say he's not on it. He's a shithead. Robert
Betty
De Niro.
Davis. Robert De Niro. They're not too popular, Sam. Mel Gibson don't like him. So anyway,
I like Mel. 5 years' time.
I like Mel. He's not keen on Robert.
So you know,
I got the wind blowing in my hair.
Here's a thing that is
with Clive.
That's always intrigued me. You know, the swimming events in the Olympics are the freestyle, the breaststroke, the backstroke, and the butterfly. I want to know who invented the butterfly. Have you ever tried to do the butterfly?
It's hard.
And what is the point of it? And here is the point of this, me saying this, mentioning the Titanic. If you're on the Titanic and it sank, would you butterfly to the nearest iceberg? Well, you wouldn't. You'd swim. What? No one can do the butterfly. What is the point of the butterfly? What is that as ridiculous event?
It's a shit example, Sam. Well, if you're in the water, deep waters, and you got shark-infested waters,
what would you?
Why would you want to do the butterfly?
Exactly. What's the point of that stroke?
As fast as you could.
That's exactly what's the point of that
free
stroke.
You do?
Yeah, of course you would. That's why I said it. There's no point of having the butterfly as a stroke in swimming, is there?
No, it's you're
As I
starting to speak
said,
like
the
me.
bloke-
You're starting to speak like me.
That
Starting
old-
to catch.
that old line, Doug. The bloke who's doing the freestyle was trying to break the Melbourne to Perth and back to Melbourne swimming, long distance swimming record, and he got to. And the only reason when he didn't break the record is that when he got to Perth, he fucked up the tumble turn.
You got stuck at Rock Nest. There you go.
Anyhow, look.
Well, for a bit of
Turn at Rock Nest went the wrong way.
well, the guy who did invent the overarm butterfly is an American swim coach called David Armbruster.
Armbruster.
Armbruster. In 1935.
Oh.
And why did he invent it? It's just a ridiculous.
Nothing else to do.
My son, he can't do it.
Hey, Jack. Get on your brother.
Okay.
Are we on there?
Now, finally, what we do is...
I've got to go to my next gig, Sam.
Righto,
It's in December.
finally,
I'm
what
very
we
busy.
normally do is
Is that Glenn
we
Waverley?
read out
Yeah, Sam.
comments about people who've said
What about
what
this?
they like about this show, and sometimes we write out things that people give us a belting. We like doing that
He loves it, in fact.
Can you give us
because
some
we
good
reckon
feedback?
people who abuse us get off on abusing us. They get aroused because they really love us. They do. I reckon they get hard-ons. They say, "Yeah, you're an arsehole and you're a fake," and we think that they secretly get a hard-on just thinking that we take offence at what they say about us, and we think we
I
do.
think Sam gets a bit of a hard on.
Yeah, I get a hard on when someone really abuses me and says, "You're nothing but a pedophile." And I think, Jesus, that's good. We've got to them. Anyhow, I'm giving a shout out.
Is there any feedback, Sam?
Yeah, you get good feedback. They
Oh,
say
yeah,
they
you
love
did.
you, Doug.
Well, complimentary?
Yes.
Yes, good
That's good
complimentary
feedback.
for that. Yeah, I did. We should have
Much
got
negative
some.
shit do I get, Sam? Do I get
No,
much
we should
negative?
have got some. We should have got some.
How I
I should have
speak?
read out some, but I have
that's
neglected
all
to
right,
do
but-
that. So we've got another person coming in a minute to interview. Oh, I have any,
I've got to-
You don't have to.
I have to go.
So I'm just giving a shout out. We usually giving a shout out to Michael Christian Menswear.com. He's over in Tasmania, and he sells those "You Cannot Be Serious" hats. We let them go for the absolute premium low price of I think $40, and they're fantastic. And if you want them, you can.
Can I have one, Sam, to
Yes.
take to Darwin with me tomorrow?
I'd love you too, Doug.
All right,
but
I'll
you got to
take
wear
one.
it. You cannot
the
be
plane.
serious
No, I'll
because
wear
you
it on the
become a
plane, I'll
star.
wear it.
You become a star on You Cannot Be Serious.
If you don't give me, I'll pinch it.
No, I'm
But anyway.
giving a shout. Well, you're from Footscray,
Great.
that's right. I'm going back to visit my hubcaps over there one day. There's in someone's garage. Now, Lee
What about his skateboard?
sprung me out the back of the warehouse here. He was walking past. Lee, his name is. He's a man.
Yeah.
And he had some pods in his ears. And he looked at me and he said, "You, Sam?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You wouldn't believe it. I'm listening to your podcast." Lee, he's from Perth.
What's
And
he
was
doing
out-
here?
He was over visiting.
But how did he know you were there?
Okay.
He didn't. I walked out the back of my thing and he happened to be walking past. He said, "Are you Sam Newman?" I said, "I am." He said, "I'm listening to your podcast." Lee, isn't that extraordinary?
It's nice. Very nice.
It is. Well, Doug, it's been fantastic. And we're going to
I'm going to
interview
Darwin, Sam, tomorrow. I'm heading off.
for the Ted Whitten
Ted
thing.
Whitten Foundation.
The late Ted Whitten, your hero.
The great EJ and young Teddy's maintained obviously the great man's name with
Yes.
our trip to there. We got your mate Kecker. Kecker will be
Yes.
there and
Good.
he'll run amok.
Now, Doug,
How long are you up there for?
4 days is enough for me, Ivan.
Beautiful.
By 4 days, I'm
Ivan.
just about had enough.
now,
Comatose.
Doug, I
Had a gut full
tell
of-
you who you'll find interesting, and I'm glad you're here.
Yep.
We've got Michael Christian coming in.
Is he coming? Yeah, it'd
He's
be good
coming
to talk
in,
to him.
and
Yep.
the head of the AFL
Tribune,
match review.
match review officer.
Yes,
That's what
yep.
he is.
We've got
Yep.
plenty
And
to talk about.
I'm very glad you're here because
I'd like to see Chris, though, a good mate of
well,
mine.
he'll
Yep.
be in directly. I can see him pulling his car up now.
Yep.
So, Doug, thank you so much for coming. And
Thanks,
Ivan.
Sam.
And,
Sue, Ivan.
Oscar
Okay.
Piastri for the Grand Prix
and let's
on
hope
Sunday.
there's a huge
You
crash
back him?
at the first
Yep.
turn.
What
and
crash?
that puts out Max Verstappen. Not injured, not everyone
Just
walks
not
away,
injured,
but we
just
just
out.
want a huge crash, and then we can get on with some racing. Because only the cars that race are those from about 8th place down to last. So let's have a race at least. Make it win. Let's hope the jet comes
Are
over.
you going, Sam?
No.